everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We have a couple of teams who come off losses just 1 week ago and now want to flip things back in a positive direction. It's the Marshalls going up against the Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis as we hook up with our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, it's the newest facility in the NFL, and it is a beauty as we come to you from US Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. Tonight we kick off Week 6 with a great Thursday night matchup between the San Antonio Marshalls and the Minnesota Vikings. A first carry now. This is Johnson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On 3rd and 1, here's Brissett. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here we go now.
They'll look to throw here. Wide open receiver complete. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was at the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said, these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
So we've got a 2nd and 5.
No, check, Patriot.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Eric Rowe fits the profile of the so-called new breed of cornerback in the NFL. A college safety with length. He transitions very well to the corner in the league.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the 1st down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Christian Kirksey coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Now how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz, and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
Here we go now. Green. No. Check. Patriot.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
They almost had it. The big D-lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on fourth down. Here's Jordan Berry now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. That's taken at around the 40. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. They're going to look to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Red zone opportunity.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But if the strong safety position end up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's San Antonio football here to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. And they're definitely showing blitz here.
Detroit! All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Looking to throw. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Corey Grant, his 11th touchdown of the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6. Didn't have anything downfield, swung it out to the flat. He did the rest.
Such a staple of so many offenses we see now. You know, in our discussions with offense coordinators, how many times do they tell us, hey, this offense is designed for either a touchdown or a check down. We saw the check down on that play, and boy, was it successful.
We saw a touchdown, too. That'll be taken in the end zone. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over, and still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Brissett to throw on first. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to be met at about the 43. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Come on, let's go! Ohio!
A 2nd down throw for Brissett. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Johnson shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
They go to Johnson again. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. On 3rd down, Brissett, and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Detroit! 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 Gun!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Now that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
1 receiver left, 2 to the right. Back to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And down inside the 15 he goes. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And time for us to take a break here in the booth. More from Minneapolis after this. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Binds under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll look to throw here. He's got time. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Sharif Floyd in there to drop him. And back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. And Murray's kick is up and good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
We're set now on 2nd down. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time, and it'll bring up third down.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered, and he was able to get a hand in and knock it away.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass.
Ohio! Ohio! Let's go! Red 38! Red 38! Flex round! Flex round!
Brissett from the gun on third. He's going to try and go deep again. Oh, the ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Now this offense ready to take over again. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Tyreek Hill on the return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for the touchdown. Corey Grant, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
That's fielded in the end zone. Spinning past him. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know, at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Second down, Brissett. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Now Brissett, and the reception made by Dante Moncrief. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
On the ground, this is Johnson, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Let's go! There we go! Red 38! Red 38! Ohio! Ohio! Let's go! Ohio!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. So what will they do? On the ground, through the air? Let's see. 2nd and 9.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Here's Brissett. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Brissett to throw on first. Moncrief brings it in. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
Come on, let's go.
They'll throw again. Brissett. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it, because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on.
Let's go. Grand 38. Grand 30.
A second down throw for Brissett. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Here we go. What? No. Ohio, let's go. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Ohio.
First down, a run with Smallwood. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Here's Johnson. And he'll push his way up to about the 14. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. In a double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis as we're about ready to rock and roll for the fourth and final quarter. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. They'll send a receiver in motion left. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. It's Hill, complete. And he is out of bounds, getting it across the 30-yard line. A good pickup there of 22.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's 2nd down. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. That one goes for 24 yards.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Four yards remaining now on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They go play action here on 1st down. Steps away. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. A very solid gain of 27.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. Now back to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he will take it in for the touchdown. Corey Grant with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And the lead is now 24. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Look at the spin. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Now, lucky 56. Lucky 50. Set. Green.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. Open man is Uzama. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. Forced out to his left. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. He'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
And Murray's kick is up and good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Let's go. Brad 38. Ohio.
A first down throw for Brissett. He's going to let it fly. And he overshot shot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Pass interference call. Charles, you were a defender. You know how hard it is to defend the pass without committing this penalty.
And if they would let them play with a little bit more contact to give the defender a better chance, we wouldn't have nearly as many flags.
Brissett to throw on first. Now a desperation throw. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. Room here to run. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for our visitors, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll have a few extra days here now before they face the Lions next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Minneapolis, good night, everybody.